Hey everyone, welcome back to Phenomenod. Today we're diving into something that's going to mess with your head a little bit. You know how sometimes you remember something so clearly, but then you look it up and it's completely different? Like not even close? Yeah, that's the Mandela Effect. Before you click away, this is absolutely not another video of Mandela Effect stories. This video is about how the Mandela Effect may be a side effect of what our consciousness experiences when we die. What if I told you this effect might actually be proof that you've died before? And when it happened, your consciousness snapped to a parallel world. Stay with me here, because this gets wild. So the Mandela Effect gets its name from Nelson Mandela. Tons of people, and I mean tons. Remember him dying in prison back in the 80s? They remember the funeral, the news coverage, everything. But then, boom, turns out he lived until 2013. How did that many people get something that major wrong? There are tons of videos on this, and feel free to explore them. Most just say, oh well, memory's weird, and call it a day. But I think there's something way deeper going on here. Something that ties into consciousness itself. Let me hit you with some examples that might make you do a double take. Mr. Monopoly, you know? The guy on the board game? Picture him right now? Bet you're seeing a monocle, right? Nope. Never had one. Go check. The Fruit of the Loom logo. I guarantee some of you are picturing that cornucopia behind the fruit. The Horn of Plenty thing. It never existed according to the company. And here's one that really gets me. Pikachu's tail. Pokemon fans, close your eyes and picture Pikachu. See that black tip on his tail? Well, congratulations, you're remembering something that apparently never existed. Now, one or two of these, sure, maybe our brains are just playing tricks. But when millions of people have the exact same wrong memory, that's when things get interesting. This is where quantum immortality comes in. And trust me, this theory is a trip. Basic idea is this. Your consciousness can never experience its own death. Every time you're about to die, and I mean truly die, there's always at least one branch of reality where you somehow survive. And that's where your awareness goes. You just slip into the timeline where you made it. You with me so far? Because here's where it gets really freaky. What if the Mandela Effect isn't just shared false memory? What if it's proof that we're constantly jumping between realities every time we cheat death? And there are stories, real people telling real experiences, that'll make you question everything. There's this guy who fell asleep driving. Should have been dead, right? But he woke up safely parked at home with no memory of getting there. Except afterwards, everything felt off. Songs he remembered coming out years ago had different release dates. His friends remembered conversations completely differently. Even people close to him seemed to have slightly different personalities. Or how about this couple who survived a horrific car crash? They're walking into their apartment building and their doorman greets them with a big smile. Problem is, they both clearly remembered going to his funeral months earlier. They saw the Facebook posts, attended the service, everything. But in this reality, he's alive and well, acting like nothing ever happened. Then there's this woman who had emergency surgery, touch and go situation. When she recovered, her family kept talking about their old dog, but they were calling it by a completely different name than she remembered. She thought she was going crazy until she found old photos, and even the name tag was different. But the one that really gets me is this guy who nearly drowned as a teenager. He remembers going under, blacking out completely. Next thing he knows, he's coughing up water on the beach. But for years afterward, he noticed these tiny shifts in his world. A restaurant he'd been going to his whole life suddenly had no history before the year 2000. When he asked people about it, they looked at him like he was nuts. Here's the thing. When you look at these stories through the lens of quantum immortality, they start to make a scary kind of sense. Every time we almost die, maybe we do die in one reality. But our consciousness gets shunted into the nearest timeline where we survived. We bring our old memories with us, and our brain does its best to adjust. But it's not perfect, and so things feel off. So the Mandela Effect might not be a memory problem at all. It might be evidence that we're immortal. Not because we live forever, but because we keep sliding into realities where death missed us by inches. In my opinion, if quantum immortality is real, and I know that's a big if, then what we call the Mandela Effect is a necessary consequence of our consciousness trying to keep up. Think about it. Every wrong memory might actually be a perfect memory from a reality we already left behind. I don't know about you, but that idea makes me go down all kinds of rabbit holes. Are we really living in our original timeline? Or are we all just refugees from realities where we didn't make it? What happens when you die of old age? Is there ever an end to the reality shifts? A lot of material for more videos here. Let me know in the comments if you've ever had experiences like this, or if you'd like more videos on this topic. And hey, if you remember any of these Mandela effects differently, or if you've had your own brush with death followed by weird reality shifts, I want to hear about it. Thanks for watching Phenomenon. Please like and subscribe. It really helps a small channel like mine. See you next time, and try not to think too hard about which reality you're actually living in.